Behind me is the world's biggest car because today's episode is about the most outrageous oversized cars on the planet. And if you're wondering, oh yeah, this drives. Vehicles come in all shapes and sizes. Some are big, and some are massive. We're gonna see the world's biggest Jeep. I mean, that one's got some pretty big tires. The world's longest car.
Has a helipad on the back.
To a land vehicle so big it consumes the same amount of energy as a small city, and even a gigantic Hummer that drives and has an apartment inside. These are the biggest vehicles on the planet. First off is a car that Alex got to film, the world's longest Mercedes, the Mercedes-Maybach Vision 6. Measuring a crazy 5.7 meters in length, this electric concept car is the size of an adult giraffe, if you know what that looks like. Not only is it the world's longest ever Mercedes, it's also the longest two-seater car ever made, apparently.
I'm trying to think of the animal that this reminds me of. It's almost like a cat-like shark, if you could combine a cat and a shark.
With a car that long, you might not be turning corners very easily, but you're definitely going to be turning heads. And I know what you guys are thinking. Why would Mercedes make a two-seater car that long? Well, you're right, but Mercedes wanted to make a statement car that would be fun to drive around in instead of a luxurious chauffeur-driven car like a Mercedes S-Class. Mercedes said they wanted to make a car that was relaxed and stately as opposed to being aggressive and sporty.
How does it look? Look cool?
We haven't heard much about the Vision 6 since it was first revealed in 2016, but rumor has it we might be getting a redesign coming soon. Next up, let's head over to the world's biggest Jeep. Right there, just like the Hummer H1 X3, you can walk inside of it using a staircase like this. Let's actually go inside and have a quick look. Welcome to my crib. Jump inside. Now, we're not going to spend too much time on this because, as you can see, it's basically just a ground floor. It's got a little bit of a stage, which is interesting. Looks like a mini nightclub or something. But this is the Guinness Book of World Records biggest Jeep. Again, the other one that we mentioned, though, is one you can actually drive around and have some fun in. The Big Willie Mutant Jeep. To clarify, it's not the Big Mutant Willie Jeep. That'd be a little bit sus. To be precise, it's a 1.648 to 1 scale replica model that was built to honor the World War II veterans back in the day that said that this car could do anything.
Everything is so big that it's hard to see over the hood. I estimate Big Willie will weigh approximately 6,500 pounds, 3.5 tons. Big Willie is titled as a 1942 Willys MB and will be totally street legal.
The man behind Big Willie, Ian Liejeblatt, had been a metal worker for over 20 years, so he knew what he was doing. But it was thanks to a group of volunteers and sponsors that they were able to build that Jeep from the ground up in 7 months, 80 hours a week. Pretty crazy that they built that Jeep in only 7 months, but what's coming up next is gonna shock you. It's the world's biggest SUV, the Dabian. We're at the Rainbow Shakes Car Museum. This place has some of the world's craziest cars. And we're here to see one very special one. It's not that one. Let me introduce you to the world's largest SUV, the Dabian. Look at the amount of wheels that this car has. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 10 wheels plus 2 spare ones on each side. And I'm not sure about this, but with this many wheels, it could maybe even float on water. But this is 10 meters long. That's the same as a London bus. It's 2.5 meters wide, and it's over 3 meters tall. It's a little bit of a couple of different vehicles like mixed together. So first of all, the base is an Oshkosh military vehicle, but then you're going to see it's got some Ford Super Duty lights right there. The cabin, which we're going to jump inside in just a second, is from a Jeep Wrangler. The back is a Dodge Dart. And in a shocking turn of events, something that I didn't expect, an Apple logo. Let's jump inside. Ready? So you got a little swing step right there. Wow, okay. It's a little bit intimidating. I feel like this seems like a guardrail just in case, because one small mistake, you break your neck. Oh yeah, okay. Wow. So yeah, you're basically sitting at ground level with the side step. I can't even imagine trying to park this. Look at my point of view. Literally about 20 feet worth of bumper in the front. I mean, look at that hood. Imagine trying to turn this thing. So I actually have no idea how anybody would drive this, especially with there's like no visibility. This actually does hold the Guinness Book of World Records for the world's largest SUV. Also, in the steering wheel, instead of saying, you know, Jeep, it says Oshkosh. All right, something I did not see, but with the light on, you can actually see all these different buttons. Trailer air supply, parking brake. You have different kind of gauges. Now, this is definitely not from a Jeep Wrangler. This is from an Oshkosh. I've never driven an Oshkosh, but this is probably what it comes from. And over here, you have your like max speed setting. So you have, you know, mud, sand, and snow. So max speed is 12 miles an hour. You can flip to 40. You can also flip it to 65. This is 55, but here it says 65. It would be absolutely terrifying to see a vehicle this large coming at you at 65 miles an hour. I mean, yeah. This has a 600 horsepower Caterpillar 15.2 liter C15 engine. Still though, as crazy as that sounds, this will probably be pretty slow because of how much it weighs. I mean, as you guys saw, there's a limiter for like 60 miles an hour depending on how fast you want to go. Right, on to the next biggest car on our list, the world's biggest amphibious vehicle. Now, amphibious vehicles can get pretty nuts, but there's one that takes the crown for its size.
The huge Aftoro Shaman is an 8-wheeled beast that drives on any terrain and even swims on water.
Water!
I knew it! I knew it!
This is your day off at the beach, guys. This truck or vehicle has a propeller. We're going to attach this right now. Bam!
Nice.
Look at this, baby. All right, now we're going to go take this beast and just drive it around in the ocean.
With its length of 6.3 meters, 2.64 meters in width, and 2.95 meters in height, this monstrous vehicle is the size of 2 Range Rovers and it's road legal.
This right here is crab mode, and that means that the car will drive sideways. So we're going to crab along the beach.
Weighing almost 5 tons, it's not meant for fast driving. It has a max speed of around 70 kilometers an hour.
It can also tow up to 12 tons. That's like towing 2 adult elephants.
It starts at $200,000. So that's just like the... I know, it's kind of surprising, right? It's not...
Money will
Yeah.
that
No,
bad.
you thought I was going to say like $1 million.
I thought you were saying
Yeah.
This thing is also super fun to drive, so we had a lot of fun driving it on the beach.
Oh, it's so good!
Now
Do you
we're
see?
crazy. Now brace yourselves for a literal world record holder. The world's longest car, and of course, it's a limo.
At 30 meters long, it's the length of 2 volleyball courts or the size of a blue whale.
Look what's approaching. Has a helipad on the back. Can you believe this? I mean, come on. Have you seen that before?
It was originally built in the 80s and then abandoned to rot in a yard, where it was later found and restored to its former glory in over 2.5 years.
We have no idea how it could turn a corner or even how it's street legal, but hey, this is America.
What? Come check this out. Look how long this is inside.
How freaking cool was that? All right, now before we get to the world's largest car, which is right behind me, let's do some honorable mentions in the commercial vehicle category. This is the Balaz 75710, the largest truck in the world.
It's over 8 meters tall, which is like stacking 4 Range Rovers on top of each other. And it's almost 10 meters wide. That's 5 Range Rovers side by side. Even more impressive is the length, which at 20 meters is like the length of 2 super stretch limousines. It weighs 360 tons and is able to carry more than its own weight, up to 450 tons. That's actually a lot more weight than the world's biggest passenger plane, the Airbus A380, which weighs 270 tons. When fully loaded up, the Balaz weighs a shocking total weight of 810 tons. That's over 11 times the weight of the world's heaviest tank, the M1 Abrams.
Now what's unique about the Balaz 75710 is that it's got a 16-cylinder diesel engine that can produce 23,000 horsepower.
But the engines actually power 4 electric motors, 1 on each wheel, making the world's biggest truck a hybrid vehicle. It has an automatic box but 3 pedals, and you might be wondering why. The third pedal is actually a second set of electrodynamic brakes on top of the conventional hydraulic discs. You're definitely going to need the extra help when you're carrying 450 tons. With all that weight, it's also pretty impressive that the Balaz truck can actually hit a top speed of 64 kilometers an hour when empty. And when it's fully loaded, it can go up to 40 kilometers an hour.
Now, while this vehicle is used for commercial mining, transporting ores, you could, in theory, buy one for about $6 million.
Next up, we're looking at the world's biggest wheeled crane, the XCA 400. It's a record-breaking marvel of engineering that weighs an incredible 4,000 tons. That's the weight of almost 2,000 Hummer H3s. It was designed and built in China for the installation of turbines of 10 megawatts or more and can lift 230 tons to heights of up to 180 meters. That's like lifting 115 Bugatti Chirons up to the height of 2 Big Bens stacked up. It has 22 wheels, it's 29.7 meters long. That's like saying 4 double-decker buses. You would be excused for thinking this behemoth of a crane is slower than a snail, but this incredible machine can actually hit a top speed of 70 kilometers per hour when empty.
I want to show you guys one more before we get into this beast behind me. I'm talking about the largest working vehicle ever built, the undisputed giant,
the Bagger 288. Standing at a staggering height of 96 meters and weighing over 13,000 tons, the world's largest land vehicle is as tall as a 30-story building and about as heavy as the Brooklyn Bridge.
It's the size of an ocean liner on land.
It's kind of an abstract type of machine.
This colossal machine was built for excavating massive amounts of earth and plays a crucial role in coal mining. Equipped with 18 buckets, each is able to hold 6.6 cubic meters of earth, and it continuously scoops and transfers materials. The Bagger 288 can move a shocking 240,000 cubic meters of material each day, which is equivalent to a football field dug to a depth of 30 meters.
On this excavator, only 5 people are working, and with these 5 people in 3 shifts, that means 15 people around the clock, we produce this high capacity.
Because of its immense size, the Bagger 288 is pretty slow. It can travel up to 10 meters per minute, but it's incredible it's even able to move at all. Just imagine seeing a 30-story building on the move. But the Bagger 288 is more than just a machine. It's a testament to human ingenuity, reminding us the incredible feats we can achieve.
The Bagger was freaking nuts, right? But it's not like you can just drive that thing down the highway. Next to me, however, is the largest road-legal custom car ever built. And it's finally time to check it out. You ready? Let's go. So, first of all, this is called the Hummer H1 X3, and that's because it's 3 times bigger than a Hummer H1. It's 3 times longer, 3 times taller, 3 times wider. Every single one of these wheels costs $25,000. And you might be asking, where do you even get a tire like this? This comes from a Lark. You'll understand that the clearance is high up enough to literally fit a human. Now, I'm a pretty tall individual. I'm 5'10", and I can easily stand underneath it. The cool thing is that all this is functional, by the way. It's not just for decoration. This actually drives on the road. I can't drive it because this would be absolute chaos if I got on the road with this. There's a highway right there, but it is road legal in this kind of area. So these doors are for show. The doors don't really open up. If they did open up, they would weigh a lot. But what's cool is that the side view mirrors do actually have a purpose, because you do actually need visibility when you're in there. And they're huge. I mean, they're the size of like a small boogie board. They're pretty big. Over at the back, before we go inside, you have working tail lights, still hinges. I mean, you could, in theory, tow something if you really wanted to. And the windshield, look, you can see the back. That actually unlocks and you can open it up for some ventilation. And over here, this little staircase. But obviously, when you're driving, these aren't down. This would be grinding on the road. I'll show you how it looks, because it's actually a hidden door. You want to check out what's inside? So when you go in, the first thing you get, unexpectedly, is a sink. In here, you have a bathroom and a toilet. Oh my God. So, yep, there you go. If you ever need to go to the bathroom while driving this thing, you even have a bidet. Now, in here is an engine. Now, this is one of 4 engines, one on every single wheel. And what's cool is that the wheels at the back can also turn to help maneuver, because something this big needs rear wheel steering in order to, like, you know, do sharp U-turns and stuff. All right, now this is actually a duplex. So there's a second floor. And this is the party area. Come check this out. This is 60 squared meters, bigger than some apartments. So yeah, you have the chairs, everyone can kind of socialize. In the middle, you have a pole for stability. In case this thing is driving, you can hold on to make sure you're not going anywhere. Now, it took 7 people 1.5 years to build all of this, and it was built inside the owner's garage. So for them to fit this vehicle inside of his personal garage, imagine the size of the house. You have the largest windshield wipers I've ever seen to clear out the rain. I mean, that's like a solid maybe 4 feet per windshield wiper, and the windows are so big that they have their own like apartment-sized blinds. So that's something that you'd find, yeah, literally in someone's flat. You might be wondering, where do you drive? How do you drive? Well, this is the seat, and it looks pretty impossible to drive. So you sit here, and you have a bunch of toggles, levers, and buttons, and I have no idea how this would work. I don't even know where the on button is, but it says main light, windshield wiper, red, cutout engine. So okay, so these are basically the toggles for every individual engine. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have a horn here. I'm almost scared to, I feel like if I press the horn and someone's in front of it, I just like liquefy them, you know? And these screens basically give you, some visibility on your blind spots on the corners of the vehicle. And that is basically it for the Hummer H1 X3. Pretty crazy. All right, and those were the world's biggest vehicles. Which one was your favorite? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next time.